This is Legion Unknown. The objective? To find the most haunted locations and investigate the most notorious urban legends that the West has to offer. We'll be documenting all of our experiences with the paranormal and presenting the evidence here for you to judge. Join me and my fellow investigators as we search for the truth behind life after death and dive headfirst into the unknown. Welcome to Cisco, Texas, a tiny town between Abilene and Dallas, and home to the Mobley Hotel, now known as the Conrad Hilton Center. It was the start of a hotel empire for the Hilton family, and now a museum and historical monument to that period of American history. Here we met with Tammy Lauren, the museum curator and former mayor of Cisco, to learn about some strange occurrences going on.
I read online something about sometimes you might hear music playing or something
There
like
was
that.
a lady one time told me, she said, hey, she said, I come in on a Saturday one day, and she said, do you have music playing? And I have had music playing out through some speakers outside and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, I used to. I said, but it's broke. And she's like, well, there was music playing when I was walking around. I could hear it inside the building. Yeah.
On display upstairs is a wedding dress owned by a woman named Irene, who is said to still haunt these halls. Weird thing is, no one knows why or how exactly the dress got here.
That's another, one of those things. The person that was prior to me was the one that told me that, we had a ghost named Irene and her dress is upstairs. And I was like, oh, okay.
Tammy herself was a skeptic until working here, and was not willing at first to accept the stories that had been passed down from previous curators.
I didn't really believe in it. And,
Yeah.
the lady that was here before me, she's what's like, hey, you do know the Hilton's haunted? And I was like, oh, yeah, right, And she's like, no, she said it's haunted.
One common occurrence happens as the elevator is called to the first floor, all on its own.
And I was in here one day working in my office, and it was real quiet like it is now, and all of a sudden I hear the elevator coming down. I was like, gosh, is there somebody upstairs and I didn't know it? So, I get up and go to the elevator, and the door opens, and the door's opening, and there wasn't nobody in the elevator, and I thought, that is the weirdest thing. So I go upstairs, I look around, I try to find somebody, I go down every hall. It's just weird. I was like, that is so weird. Why would the elevator come down by itself? And I even looked in our bathrooms thinking somebody come in, and I just didn't catch them coming in,
Another common chilling haunt is the full-bodied apparition of Irene, wandering the halls in her white dress.
One of my board members, he and I are just a year apart. We went to school together, and I've known him forever. In fact, we're distant cousins. But he was sitting in my office one day on the couch, and we were talking, and he would see down the hall, and he's real funny anyway. But he looked down the hall, and was glanced at home, and he done like this, like a double take. And he said, I gotta go. And I said, what's your hurry or something? He said, Irene just went in the kitchen.
Tammy then told us about a janitor who cleaned at night, who believed there was a spiritual connection between Irene and a deceased family member.
And he started cleaning for us, and he'd clean at night and stuff. And I have cameras upstairs, or I have cameras everywhere, but anyway, I had a notification on my phone, and it was 10:30ish or so. I better check that. So I see Roger, and he's upstairs, and he's going, Irene, Irene. Of course, I got tickled about it. Well, he was, come to find out, he was a little spooked about this building. He said that building's haunted. Strange thing about that is he said, I had a long distance cousin that had lost her mother, and she was a young girl and her name was Irene. And he said she had put on her mother's wedding dress one time, and her daddy told her to take it off, but she didn't. And she was cooking in it and caught it on fire and died. And he found that wedding dress and her name being Irene was such he said there's something there about that.
Just a connection
Somehow with the name and the dress. And he was very adamant about that. I mean,
Tammy was kind enough to allow us to perform an overnight investigation to try to see if we could capture whatever is going on inside the Mobley Hotel. But before we get into it, make sure you like and subscribe so you never have to miss out on one of our hunts. And check us out on pretty much every social media for more content. We didn't exactly know what to expect from the Mobley, but what we didn't expect was for the activity to begin before we even had time to finish setting up our equipment.
Alright, so we just had the cat ball start going off on its own. Ben was all the way in that room, and I'm standing over here. Is everybody there? Did you just make that ball light up?
If you did, will you do it again, please? Just touch the ball.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, if you really want to impress us, can you make the elevator go up? Or down, or just activate it?
We heard you like to ride the elevator.
And just to demonstrate, it does not go off if I step around it, even if I stomp. You have to actually touch it to make it go off. Well, thank you for interacting with us. We'll be here all night.
We're going to come back and we're going to bring what's called a REM pod, and it will help you communicate with us.
As we were trying to make our way out, the ball continued to activate, almost as if something was trying to convince us to stay.
Is it? Yeah, it is. Cool.
Good?
Yep.
So where are you going? That could have been you walking by it. Oh, wait.
Shortly after this, we decided to head out of the building so we could pick up some supplies we needed before we started the hunt. This is what the static camera by the elevator picked up while we were gone. Did you catch it? Pay close attention to the door right before the ball lights up again. We were also able to capture this unexplained banging noise, the source of which we were unable to find. When we returned from our supply run, we decided it was time to properly begin this investigation. We decided to start with the elevator hallway. If you're here, can you make that noise go off again? We just heard you in here. This device is called a REM pod. And there's like an energy bubble around it. If you get close to it, it'll make a noise. It doesn't hurt or anything. All it's going to do is let us know that you're here. So can you please come close to it?
It's not going to hurt you. It's a temperature change. Thank you. Thank you for responding. If this is Irene, can you light this up again? If we're speaking to someone who's not Irene, can you light this device up, please? Thank you so much.
If this isn't Irene, can you tell us who you are? And tell us your name?
We may not be able to hear you now. This is wild. The REM pod has never done this before.
Definitely never seen that before.
If you'd like to communicate with us, can you stand next to that antenna again? Approach that red light. Don't be afraid, keep going.
We then captured what sounds like a woman's voice. Was this Irene trying to answer us? Are you still here, or did you go somewhere else?
Still here.
Do you just not want to communicate?
Do you want to talk to us?
You don't have to. We would just really appreciate it if you did.
We're just here to communicate with you, to find out if, Irene, if this is you, and if that is your wedding dress on the second floor.
Is this Irene we're talking to? Or is this someone else?
If this is someone else, approach the red light.
No, we're gonna move on to somewhere else. We can come back later if you want to talk.
So there's no chairs here, but there's chairs right there.
Grandpa's off again.
I heard it.
We heard you make that REM pod go off again. Can you do it again for us? Can you just go off again? You keep making that go off after we walk away. See that antenna sticking up? Why don't you grab that antenna? It's not gonna hurt you. It's just gonna let you know that you can, let us know that you can understand what we're saying. So if you see that red light and that antenna, will you please walk up to the antenna and grab it for us?
It was at this point during our investigation of the elevator hallway that we captured what to us sounds like a disembodied scream.
It does not want to respond.
Thank you. Can you do that again for me? Please? We're glad you're here.
So it wasn't me walking over here.
No, but as soon as you did, it started doing it. Irene, do you like trains? I don't know what to make of that. I think she really likes trains. If that's really you here with us, can you grab that antenna? That thing sticking up, will you just grab that for us, please?
You just don't want to respond to us. I stand correct? My apologies.
Why don't you come back and speak with us, please? Mr. Approach the red light again.
Or the ball.
Or the ball.
Either one. Touch either one, whichever one you like most. I personally like the REM pod because it makes much noise.
After the train passed, responses seemed to be slowing down. We thought this would be a good time to take our investigation upstairs to Irene's room.
The most terrifying waffles you've ever eaten.
You want to shut this door? Bro, heavy town.
I love it.
My other arm's on. It's blood. So cut your Shortly after we got set up in what we were calling Irene's room, my camera mysteriously shut off on its own. When I got up to investigate, the small anomaly can be seen seemingly fleeing the area. Whoever's here, did you just turn my camera off? I never had it just randomly shut off.
Weird.
Responses.
Like, almost immediate.
If there's anybody up here, there's two clear balls, one on the floor over there and one on the table in front of us. We saw them go off earlier. If you touch them, that'll let us know you're here. If there's anybody in here, can you make a noise or do something that'll let us know you're here? We have quite a few ways in front of us. There's the two toys that I mentioned earlier. And there's this green light that's going to let us know. There's a couple of microphones in here if you want to say something.
Irene, if you're here with us, can you knock once? If there's anybody here with us, can you knock once?
The cat ball that we had set up on the floor in front of Irene's dress begins to light up on its own. Just as it does, the small anomaly can be seen moving away from the toy and towards the dress.
Can you make that go off again? Thank you for doing that. There's one right here too in front of us. Right on this little table.
Can you come closer and sit in this chair across from me, please? I'd love to talk to you face to face. I know Eric would love that too. So why don't you come sit in this chair? There's a green light. Just come sit down there and we can talk face to face. REM pod.
Should I leave these up here looking over there?
Do what?
Leave these up here.
Yeah, we can leave those up here. I guess we can leave that up here too.
I'm just walking along. See what
Okay,
happens.
yeah. Step on the balls.
That's good advice for any situation.
It's us again. Irene, if you're here with us, we still want to communicate with you. And even if it's not Irene, we'd love to communicate with you as well. We just don't have a name for you. But if you'd like to speak your name, feel free. We'll be able to hear it through our devices in our hand. Anyone would like to communicate with us? You see the red light on the floor in front of Irene's dress? Approach that red light that's on the floor. Tip change.
Is that you? Can you get closer to that light?
Don't be afraid to touch the antenna or the red light. If that's you, could you back up from the light, please? Step away from the light. It's not even beeping though. If you're out there with us and want to communicate, grab that antenna sticking up. you standing in front of your wedding dress?
Some people say that they've seen you. Can you show yourself for us? Thank you.
You know, it would be really cool if you grabbed that antenna. Or if you touched that red light. Or if you touched this ball on the floor. Thank you for changing the temperature. But we'd really like to communicate through the other means of communication.
Is there a reason you're being a little shy tonight?
Don't be afraid of us. We're just here to communicate with you. We'd love to learn more about you, feel your presence, speak to you through our various means of communication.
Are you over in the next room?
I zoned out, I didn't hear it.
Do you know how to play piano? Is that a yes?
If you're here with us, just touch that antenna. Right over there by Eric. Oh man.
I'm not feeling anything.
Oh.
I'm just checking. There's no
No draft?
draft at all.
I wonder if that vent's closed.
There's, you can feel it, there's nothing here.
Come on, Irene. Is Irene Waterbury here with us? What was that? I'm gonna go check that, make sure none of the cameras didn't fall or something. That was loud. You need to change your battery anyway, right?
noise that we heard was so loud that we started to worry that somebody might have entered the building. We decided to go check the place out, just to be sure. That camera's still up. Change it out. Yeah, just trying to adjust. Is there anyone in here?
It was just going for like a split second. That's a big jump.
After we were certain we were the only ones left in the building, I made my rounds taking pictures with a film camera, see if anything would show up on film that didn't necessarily want to show up on digital. Make sure you subscribe so you can see what those look like, and see if anything shows up once they get developed. We then went to investigate the bedroom exhibit to see if there was anyone there we could make contact with. What we found was one of the most substantial pieces of evidence we've caught to date.
What was that? No. Yes.
It's a little colder.
A little bit. There's not even a vent in here. Besides that window open.
That's strange. It said mirrors, and this mirror was originally in the Hilton.
Oh, really?
That's what it says. So what's going on with the mirrors?
Irene, if you're here, we're back on this side. Or if it's not Irene, whoever it may be that wants to communicate with us, we're here.
You're in the bedroom.
If there's anybody here with us that would like to communicate, as you can see, there's a ball on the photo there. If you move that ball, it'll light up. Let me give you a third way to communicate. You can either move that ball, you can approach the green light, or you can approach the red light, whichever you'd like to do. Can you please set one of those devices off for us? Is Irene here with us? If there's someone else other than Irene here with us, set off one of the devices on the bed, please. Can you please make one of the devices go off on the bed so that we know that you're here with us?
You can make any kind of noise you want.
Is it easier to knock? If there's someone here with us, knock on the wall one time, like this. Oops, that was twice. Let me give you once. Did you hear that? If that was you that just knocked, can you knock again for us?
Knock as loud as you possibly can.
Why does it kind of feel heavier downstairs and in the Irene room than it does any other rooms in the building?
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying though? Like downstairs.
Downstairs is weird.
And then
Irene room is weird.
Yeah.
This room doesn't really feel anything.
No, okay, it's not just me then. It's
No.
literally just kind of.
The air here feels light. Like
does.
it's clear.
Yes, like it's not heavy whatsoever.
But then you walk in the Irene room and it's just like,
Overwhelming.
yeah,
Yeah.
just like almost just a pressure in the air.
Yeah, like you're just waiting for something to move or to happen with like, you know, with anticipation. And like in here, it's like, eh. I don't know, I think the presence of Irene's dress in the other room and if she is the one present, that's what just fills the room. And then if she's been known to go downstairs, take the elevator, cross over in the kitchen, things like that.
And that explains the elevator room,
Mm-hmm.
that hallway.
That hallway, yeah.
'Cause there's just it's the same feeling almost. Just that same weird pressure.
The downstairs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And kind of the same in the elevator hall over here.
Upstairs too, yeah.
It's just that whole, I don't really know what it is.
Yeah.
It's definitely different vibes.
For sure. I don't know, you know what? We sat up in the in the hallway in front of the bottom elevator. Maybe we need to post up in front of the elevator up top here.
We could try it.
Yeah, why not? I mean, we got some root paw responses from the bottom, so.
Yeah, that was wild.
Okay, I'm gonna give give y'all one last chance. Irene, whoever it may be in this room with us, if you would like us to stay, set off one of the devices that's on the bed. But if you don't, we're gonna leave. We're gonna walk out. We're gonna go hang out by the elevator. You're free to join us if you want to come with us. We're gonna go to the elevator and, you know, maybe try to holler at Irene. If that's not who's in here with us, we're gonna talk to her for a little bit. But you're more than welcome to join us. If you want to hold my hand, if you want a piggyback ride, whatever it may be. But if you want us to stay, you know, you'll have to give us something.
What about me though? Can I get a piggyback ride?
Of course,
Okay.
but it's from the front.
Blades of glory. That's a good thing we can edit videos.
Alright, well, we're going to the, Dude, your fucking camera just went off by itself.
No way.
Dude, it made that like when you're changing film after you take a picture, you know? Alright, well, we're going to the, Dude, your fucking camera just went off by itself. Alright, well, we're going to the,
You can clearly see the strap on the camera moving on its own. And you can also hear what sounds like the shutter sound when you take a picture.
That was the shutter sound.
Was it? To me, it sounded like when he goes like that, you know?
Okay, I have 11 chills going on right now.
It just happened to be right after I said, you gotta do something. That's what I heard. That.
That's weird. It is another camera. Getting a woman in the Witch of the Wardrobe vibe.
Is that you?
Narnia is in this closet. Can you come out, Mr. Thomas?
That was you that made that sound with the camera. Can you do it again?
If you press the button on top, it'll take a picture. Feel free to do that.
Do you like photography? You recognize a camera? You can use it.
All of a sudden, this room felt a little bit different.
I've got goosebumps right now, man. If there's someone in here with us, give us a sign by lighting up a device that's on the bed so we really know. Any device, the red light, the green light, or the ball on the picture.
All went quiet in the bedroom after the interaction with the camera, so we decided to move on to our last experiment for the night, the SLS camera. The SLS camera, using motion tracking technology, maps out human figures and bodily movement. It is thought that it can detect an entity's bodily form, even if not seen by the naked eye.
You want to hit the Irene room? get you? Okay, I didn't do that one. If there's anybody here, we'll be able to see you a little bit better now.
Very strange.
Oh shit. There's something directly in front of me. Seriously. Oh, it just went away. I'm screen recording now, I got it. It was right over here.
Is there anybody up here right now?
The device I have in my hand, if you're here with us, we'll be able to see you. You can wave. See, I'm waving at you. Can you wave at me? Oh my god, that's right there. It's literally on these closure here. It's gone. It'd be different if it was consistent, but it's not consistent.
Can you come back?
It's back. Can you wave at me? It's freaking dancing or something. It's moving its legs up. You see this? Isn't Irene's dress like right on the other side of that? I'm not sure what it's doing.
Can you raise your hand? Raise one arm.
Can you raise one arm for us? It's just hanging out. That's weird. Oh, that's weird. See, now it's gone. Huh? Oh, okay. Anything thermal coming over there? Where'd you go? Can you come back? It's back. It's over on the counter, or over on the corner of those, right where those military uniforms are. It's got its hand on its hip.
Can you raise your hand if you can hear us?
Can you wave at me? Oh, and now it's gone. Like it was like sitting on the case, and it was moving around and everything, and then it just disappeared. And I can't even get it to come back.
So it's not just picking up a mannequin.
No, it's not just picking up the uniform as a mannequin because there's no consistency.
So much history in one building, and it feels like some of that history still has life in it. Were we able to make contact with Irene, or was it some other spirit? Either way, the activity here definitely explains its reputation. Thankfully, nothing residing here ever felt hostile, so it seems that Irene, if she is here, is just enjoying the memories her dress brings her. If you ever plan to visit the Conrad Hilton Center in Cisco, Texas, get ready to say hello to Irene, and know that if you ever take the elevator, she might be right there with you. Thanks for watching this episode. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more of what we do. See you next time on Legion Unknown.